Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 8 p.m. on LA56.
He is not afraid to shoot people.
The FBI says a bank robber caught on camera in Nebraska may be the same man who held up a bank in Chino and shot a police officer.
Jennifer Lawrence hacked what we're learning about nude photos that were stolen.
And a look at how things are going as more big-name musicians take the stage for the Made in America Music Festival. Good evening, I'm Jory Rand.
I'm Giovanna Lotta. Welcome to Eyewitness News on LA56. The bank robbery suspect known as the AK-47 Bandit is back. Investigators say a man matching his description held up a bank in Nebraska this month. Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter explains why Chino police are helping in the nationwide manhunt.
Armed with his trademark assault rifle, a weapon authorities say he is willing to use, having already shot a Chino police officer. The AK-47 Bandit targets another bank in his violent spree.
He went from Southern California to Northern California, then he went up to Washington, made his way east to Idaho, and now he's made his way into Nebraska.
Once again, dressed in body armor and a black ski mask, the suspect robbed a Nebraska City bank 2 weeks ago, making off with an undisclosed amount of cash. Investigators say his crime spree began 2.5 years ago when he hit the California Bank and Trust in Chino. The ski mask, bulletproof vest, and that assault rifle, which authorities say he used on a Chino officer who confronted him as he was fleeing the scene, seriously injuring the officer. He's accused of hitting 2 banks in Northern California just a month later, then one in Washington state, followed by his last bank robbery in Idaho in November 2012. Until he turned up again in Nebraska. Chino authorities now warning the public and law enforcement to be on the lookout and on alert.
We want to make everybody aware of how violent this individual is. He's not afraid to pull the trigger. He's already shot a police officer. So anybody who gives him any resistance, he's not afraid to act.
As in most of the other robberies, the suspect was seen leaving in this vehicle, a dark gray or black 2009 to 2012 Nissan Maxima. He's described as a white male, 5'10" to 6 feet tall, 180 to 200 pounds, with distinctive blue eyes. In 2013, authorities said they also believe he was once sworn to protect and serve.
At one point during our robbery, the suspect made mention that he had shot a police officer before. And he also stated that he had been an officer.
But it's the AK-47 Bandit's aggressive tactics that have been of the most concern for authorities.
When the suspect entered our bank in North Bend, Washington, he aggressively aimed his assault rifle at a small child simply because the child made a noise.
And that is what has authorities desperate to track him down as quickly as possible. A $100,000 reward is being offered in hopes of catching the AK-47 Bandit before he strikes again. In the newsroom, Leanne Suter, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Leanne, thank you. Actress Jennifer Lawrence has fallen victim to a hacker who has posted nude photos of her online. We are not showing those images, but a representative for Lawrence confirms they are real. The same hacker claims to have obtained and leaked nude photos of other female celebrities, including Kate Upton, but that has not yet been confirmed. A Lawrence spokesperson issued a statement saying, quote, "This is a flagrant violation of privacy. The authorities have been contacted and will prosecute anyone who posts the stolen photos of Jennifer Lawrence."
A fatal crash on the 5 freeway this Labor Day weekend, but all lanes are finally back open north of Castaic. The CHP says 2 cars stopped on the right shoulder north of Lake Hughes Road just before 2 o'clock today. 3 people were outside the vehicles adjusting their load when another car suddenly slammed into them. A woman was pronounced dead at the scene. 5 others were injured and rushed to a hospital. The crash backed up traffic for hours, but things again are finally moving.
The search is on for 2 suspects wanted for stabbing a 7-Eleven store clerk in Rancho Cucamonga. It happened this morning on the 9400 block of Baseline Road. Authorities found the 45-year-old victim in the parking lot suffering from major stab wounds. The victim told deputies he was stabbed during a robbery. He was rushed to a hospital where he is listed in stable condition in the intensive care unit. Family members identified the victim as Tanzil Kukuksehan.
Just days after the NFL announced tougher penalties for domestic violence, a San Francisco 49ers player has been arrested on domestic violence charges. This is a mugshot of 29-year-old defensive end Ray McDonald. He was taken into custody early this morning in San Jose after a report of a domestic violence incident. McDonald spoke briefly following his release on $25,000 bail.
The truth will come out, you know. I can't say too much right now, but I need the truth to come out. I mean, everybody knows the kind of person I am.
McDonald is the first player to be arrested on domestic violence charges since the NFL announced the tougher penalties, which begin with a 6-game suspension for a first offense and a lifetime ban for a second.
New at 8, a Southern California high school has retired its controversial mascot. The Arab mascot did not appear at Coachella Valley's high school's season-opening football game on Friday night. A belly-dancing genie that often appears with the mascot was also retired. The mascot came under fire last November when the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee complained that the mascot was stereotypical. The school district refused to change the school's Arab nickname, but did agree to give the mascot a makeover.
Right now, tens of thousands of music fans are packed in downtown LA for the Budweiser Made in America Music Festival. Weezer took the stage just after 6 o'clock this evening. This is day 2 of the festival at Grant Park. John Mayer is among the headliners and is on stage right now, but there's one man that everyone seems to be talking about.
I came to see Kanye. So I think I might have to stand out here all night until he comes out. Hopefully we can move forward, but we'll see.
I'm very excited about Kanye West.
I've been a big fan of him for a few years now, and I've never seen him live, so it'd be great to see him live finally in my hometown.
Mayor Eric Garcetti has said the event will generate more than $12 million and create 2,500 jobs during the weekend. Concert promoter Live Nation has promised to pay for the cleanup.
They came to see Kanye, we came to see Danny. Danny Romero here now with the first check of the forecast. Hey, Danny.
Boy, are you getting the wrong part of the deal, man. So sorry. Don't have a song, don't have a chainmail hood to put on me, and none of that. It's just me in the suit talking about the weather. Here's the story. We have a pretty nice summer night. If you're out there, thinking about being in downtown LA, it's 75 degrees downtown. Really, really nice. To the OC we go. Irvine Spectrum Camera shows you a nice night going on in Orange County. Burbank Camera shows the valley. Pretty nice as well. Now, today, it was warm, but not hot. Pasadena, a warm 94. Saugus, 95. Riverside to 97 degrees. Hemet to 99 degrees, whereas Acton got up to 102. There were a couple of spots in triple digits, but really not a bad night overall as you look at it. Temps around the Southland now dropping down a bit. Still, though, 80 degrees, quite balmy in Ontario and Riverside. We're showing you cooler spots like 78 at Oxnard and 73 at Santa Monica. But is there more cool on the way? I'll tell you with a 7-day coming up in just a bit. In the meantime, I'll go work on my Kanye stuff. Giovanna, Jory, go ahead.
Thanks, Danny. You're enough for us. Don't worry about it. All right. Flames forced 4 people out of their Santa Ana home. It happened just after 2 o'clock this morning in the 800 block of East Elder Avenue. Investigators believe the fire started in a truck parked in a driveway. Then the flames spread into the garage of the home. No one was injured, but the house did sustain smoke damage. In all, 4 trucks were destroyed. No word on what sparked that fire inside the truck. And 27-year-old Alex Espinoza has been arrested and charged with arson and burglary after a fire in Dana Point this morning. The blaze damaged 1 unit of a commercial building and caused smoke damage to 10 others. Firefighters responded to the 2-alarm blaze around 4 o'clock this morning. Authorities found Espinoza inside the building holding a lighter as the building was on fire. It took about 40 firefighters a half hour to douse the flames. The fire caused about $400,000 in damage. No injuries have been reported.
Turning to some dramatic video from Libya now. 3 years after U.S. airstrikes helped topple dictator Muammar Gaddafi, the country is still in chaos. U.S. diplomats have fled the embassy and Islamic militants are there celebrating. ABC's Alex Marquardt has the latest.
A swan dive, plunging into the pool at a U.S. embassy compound. The acrobatics a celebration for this group of Libyan militants who, in their words today, have secured this American residential annex in Tripoli. empty ever since American diplomats evacuated at the end of July, as Libya descended even farther into chaos. On Twitter, the U.S. ambassador said it appears the embassy building itself is still guarded and has not been ransacked. This comes almost 2 years after Ambassador Chris Stevens and 3 other Americans were killed when Islamist militants stormed a U.S. consulate annex in Benghazi. Today's pool party a reminder of the lawlessness that reigns. Libya is now on the brink of becoming a failed state, with militant groups fighting each other for control as the government looks on helplessly. It was just over 3 years ago that Muammar Gaddafi was ousted, thanks largely to the airstrikes that the U.S. helped lead. But tonight there is no sign of the peaceful democracy that the U.S. had hoped would follow. Alex Marquardt, ABC News, Beirut.
U.S. warplanes are continuing their aerial bombardment of ISIS forces in Iraq. The militant terrorist group has seized much of the country in an effort to impose an Islamic State. ISIS has released another disturbing video showing the decapitation of a captured soldier. Meantime, Great Britain has raised its terror threat level to severe, but so far the U.S. has not followed suit. Many foreign fighters have joined ISIS's ranks, including more than 100 Americans.
Israel's finance minister says Israel and several Arab countries should work together to rebuild the Gaza Strip. His remarks come a week after Israel and Hamas reached a truce following nearly 2 months of fighting. He said that Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Gulf countries need to hold a regional conference soon to discuss the matter. Hamas has rejected demands to disarm. The two sides are set to hold indirect talks in Egypt next month on key disputes that remain unresolved.
5 people stranded on a boat off the San Diego coast.
Still to come on Eyewitness News, see how the Coast Guard came to their rescue.
And new details about a small plane that caused a scare over Washington, D.C. before plunging into the ocean. These stories and more when we come back. Tonight, we're learning more about a small plane that caused a scare over Washington, D.C. before plunging into the ocean. What happened to the pilot? ABC's Clayton Sandell has more.
The Coast Guard is suspending the search for a small plane that took off from Waukesha, Wisconsin. flying to Manassas, Virginia. But instead of landing, it continued on through restricted airspace around Washington, D.C. When the pilot no longer responds to radio calls, two F-16 fighters scramble. They can see the pilot appears unconscious. About 50 miles over the ocean, the plane runs out of fuel and goes down.
What a horrible feeling for these Air Force pilots to watch this airplane obviously flying out to its demise out to sea and not being able to do anything to help.
The pilot identified as Ronald Hutchinson. It is not clear why he passed out.
There are all sorts of things that could go wrong. You could have problems with the airplane where if you fly up too high and you don't have oxygen on, where you become hypoxic and your brain runs out of oxygen and ceases to function.
That's what happened in 2008 to the crew flying a small jet.
Unable to control altitude. We think he has hypoxia.
This latest crash comes at a time that the federal government and pilots who fly general aviation planes like these are dealing with a safety record that is far more dangerous than flying commercial. Last year, nearly 450 people died in small plane crashes. Just today in Erie, Colorado, another crash. 5 people on board did not survive, adding to a deadly total that pilots and the federal government agree is flying far too high. Clayton Sandell, ABC News, Centennial, Colorado.
The U.S. Coast Guard rescues 5 people after their boat starts taking on water off the coast of San Diego. The Coast Guard says a distress call went out around 6 p.m. yesterday from a pleasure boat. It had lost power and was taking on water. The boaters lit a flare, making it easier to find them. Coast Guard helicopter and boat crew arrived with pumps and got the flooding under control. The Coast Guard towed the boat in and says a faulty fitting in the engine caused that flooding.
2 lightning-sparked wildfires in Northern California are threatening about 250 homes. The fires are burning in the Klamath National Forest just east of Happy Camp. They started about 3 weeks ago and have charred 90 square miles. Nearly 2,000 firefighters are battling those fires. Low humidity and warmer weather are not helping the firefight. As of yesterday, the fires were just 15% contained.
And more summer weather in the area tonight and for the foreseeable
I mean, we're talking about 75 downtown for the concert right now. I mean, this is a
That's
beautiful.
a perfect
It really
day
is.
out.
That's a great, great night in Southern California. It's why we live here and pay the exorbitant rents and house payments, because it's just so nice summertime right now anyway. The humidity is down, and we're looking at some really nice numbers. Let's go outside and take a look right now over Southern California. How about this? We swing down to the beach at Laguna Beach, looking pretty good here. Now, on the beach areas, we're going to expect to see some clouds, nights and mornings, that marine layer moving in to help drop temperatures all around, but still a pretty good-looking night down around Laguna. To downtown L.A. we go, and there the skies are pretty clear, and 75 degrees, as I mentioned, just plain nice. Calm winds, 74% relative humidity. It's a nice night. And the reason for the really nice warm days, but not blazing hot, we have a ridge of high pressure, not a real strong one, and it's starting to migrate out of our area here over the next few days. As it kind of drifts towards the east, back towards Texas, we're then going to see what's going to replace it will be the next weather maker coming our way, which will be this low that drops in. And this low that makes its way to Southern California has this opposite effect with this onshore flow. That's that cool marine air dropping temps down 4, 5, 8 degrees from what it's been the last few days, and less humidity too. That means we're going to see a nice cooling trend for a couple of days, and then that low moves out, the high moves back in, and temps jump back up for the weekend. Here's our numbers tonight: 61 for Wrightwood, 69 for Lancaster, 61 in Ventura, 65 for Simi Valley tonight. Tomorrow, another warm day, certainly. Inland will get to 98 in Palmdale, to 91 in Pasadena, but to the beach, 77 in Malibu, 78 Huntington Beach. Inland Empire will be 95 in Riverside and Beaumont, with a 96 for Ontario. Here's our 7-day power back. Weather giving you morning clouds. A warm day tomorrow. Below average temps hit us by Wednesday, Thursday especially, as we only top off at 80 degrees downtown. But then, just in time for the weekend, rising back up to 83 on Friday. And then mostly sunny skies Saturday and Sunday, near that 85 average temps, or close to it, by next weekend. For the valleys and the Inland Empire, we'll have a mostly sunny day tomorrow. Still warm at 93, but then mostly sunny skies. And now that marine layer starts to influence the inland spots as well. Morning clouds there. Afternoon sunshine, and temps fall from that 93 down to 88 for Wednesday and Thursday. But then that low moves out. We then get that high pulling back in, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, back up to 92 for that weekend. Now, looking ahead to the mountains. They're clear all week, really nice. Winds kick up a little bit on Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures drop a bit from 79 on Monday to down to 74. Still a very nice week ahead with those nice mild numbers for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday under clear skies. High desert areas will be on the windy side, 25-mile-per-hour gust. Still hot, 98, 97 for Monday and Tuesday, but by Wednesday and Thursday, we'll see a little less of that heat, 94 for the afternoon highs for a couple of days. And then for the weekend, we warm it right back up. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, up to 98, and the heat of the desert back again by that weekend.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks, Danny.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny. A resident of Huntington Park is startled to find an intruder in their bathroom, but it's not what you think. Huntington Park police say someone from the Clarendon Avenue home called them around 1 o'clock today after finding this in their bathroom, a garden snake slithering around the sink. Police believe it came in through a hole under the house. They handed the snake over to an animal shelter. Little did the officers know they'd be adding the title Snake Wrangler to their job description today, and I think we have one in studio.
Yikes. A simple but meaningful gesture by a group of firefighters has a family saying thank you.
Still to come on Eyewitness News, we'll show you what they did, and you don't want to miss this story.
Plus, an amazing gift is given to one of the heroes of the Little League World Series. We'll show you how the generosity of a donor is giving one of the baseball players a place to live. Is that good?
A simple but meaningful gesture by a group of firefighters has a Texas family saying thank you. The men fought to save a man's life, then offered help in a way his family never expected. Reporter Kevin Reese has a story you'll not soon forget.
It was a normal call for the men of Station 4 in Baytown. At a house 1 mile away, 65-year-old John McCormick collapsed while mowing his front yard. He had a history of heart trouble. This time his heart stopped. The firefighters and EMTs revived him and followed the ambulance to the hospital. But then engine driver Luke Bednarik had an idea, so they drove back to the house.
We're all fighting over who can push the mower first.
And that's when a neighbor secretly took this picture. Firefighter Blake Steffenauer finishing the front yard.
I just happened to get off the truck first and grab the lawnmower first. We were all fighting over it.
They took turns. They did the backyard too, locked the garage and put the key in the mailbox and left this handwritten note that said, "We felt bad that your husband didn't get to finish the yard, so we did." And they didn't think it was that big of a deal.
No, not at all. Just something to help someone out in the worst time of their life.
But it was a letter and a gesture that made a daughter weep.
It just showed me that there's still compassion, that people still do random acts of kindness every day for people that they don't know.
This story does not have a happy ending. John McCormick died 2 days later, but his family thanked the firefighters for giving them those 2 days to say goodbye and for restoring their faith in people.
I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe they took the time to do that.
With a simple, random act of kindness.
It just speaks to their character. They say honor's doing the right thing when nobody's looking. That's fact. They were very honorable.
Mm-hmm. The picture of that random act posted to the City of Baytown Facebook page is already going viral. The McCormick family is getting calls from as far away as New Zealand, and they're thankful a neighbor took it.
This just shows just exactly how special they really are.
So they can say thank you to the firefighters and show the rest of us what kindness looks like.
Thank you.
We
love you.
We love you. We appreciate you.
And show that going above and beyond the call of duty often just takes a few more steps.
What an amazing story. That was Kevin Reese reporting.
And here's another touching story. One of America's Little League heroes is homeless no more thanks to a generous fan. 12-year-old Jaheim Benton was on the Jackie Robinson West team from Chicago that captured the nation's imagination as it made it all the way to the Little League World Series championship game. Financial problems forced Benton and his family to split up and stay with friends and relatives. The owner of Chicago Funeral Home heard their story and will pay the family's rent for an entire year, allowing them to live together again.
He's a superstar, little Jaheim, and superstars, the superstar and homeless don't go together. So we had to do something for this little superstar, our superstar, Chicago superstar.
He says he hopes the rent payments eventually turn into mortgage payments and that the family will someday own a home.
What great stuff there.
Yeah.
Still much more news to come, including the closing of an Orange County preschool.
Find out what we've learned about why the doors are shut just as the school year was supposed to get underway.
And we're learning new details on the condition of Joan Rivers. This as a friend speaks about seeing Rivers just before the procedure that left her hospitalized.
Plus, racing superstar Tony Stewart is back on the track after being involved in a deadly accident. Hear what racing fans have to say.
Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 8:30 p.m. on LA56.
Our top story at 8:30, a man believed to be the AK-47 bandit has struck again, this time in Nebraska. I'm Giovanna Lotta.
And I'm Jory Rand. This is Eyewitness News at 8:30 on LA56. Investigators believe this is the same bank robbery suspect who hit the California Bank and Trust in Chino 2.5 years ago. A Chino police officer was shot and seriously wounded in that case. The AK-47 bandit is also wanted for bank holdups in Northern California, Washington State, and Idaho. Chino police detectives are helping in that nationwide manhunt. There is a $100,000 reward being offered in this case.
Police are searching for two suspects wanted for stabbing a 7-Eleven store clerk in Rancho Cucamonga. It happened this morning on the 9400 block of Baseline Road. Authorities found the 45-year-old victim in the parking lot suffering from major stab wounds. The victim told deputies he was stabbed during a robbery. He was rushed to a hospital where he is now listed in stable condition in the intensive care unit.
Actress Jennifer Lawrence has fallen victim to a hacker who has posted nude photos of her online. We are not showing those photos, but a representative for Lawrence confirms they are real. The same hacker claims to have obtained and leaked nude photos of other female celebrities, including Kate Upton, but that has not yet been confirmed. A Lawrence spokesperson issued a statement saying, quote, "This is a flagrant violation of privacy. The authorities have been contacted and will prosecute anyone who posts the stolen photos."
In Buena Park, angry parents gathered today at the Crescent Avenue Christian Preschool. The school was set to open on Tuesday, but parents just learned the school has been closed. Parents were supposed to meet with school leadership today, but as Eyewitness News reporter Q McCrae tells us, they were met by police instead.
Hey, where's your answers? Why are you hiding?
Upset parents and kids protested the last-minute closure of Crescent Avenue Christian Preschool in Buena Park.
Come on, you chicken! Give us answers!
One even lied in the street, preventing the school's pastor from driving off.
We've been asking since we found out what happened via phone calls, in-face, emails, voicemails, everything. Standing out here face-to-face, we're getting absolutely nowhere.
Even my attempts failed.
Do you have anything to say for yourself? All of these parents out here have questions for you, buddy.
Parents told us they sent their children here because of its focus on Christian beliefs. But the way the church and its interim pastor, Lat Ziprasert, are handling the shutdown has parents outraged.
I mean, you're supposed to be a man of God. What do? Preach the truth and then you lie? You're a hypocrite. And it's just so sad.
Closure notices are posted on windows and doors. We checked online. The preschool's been cited 39 times by the Department of Social Services, 18 times for issues involving immediate health and safety threats. These documents mention a lack of staffing for the 85-plus students enrolled here at any given time and failing to do criminal record checks for new hires. The school's been licensed for 23 years. Now teachers like Kelly Musey are unemployed.
I think we were being bullied by the state. I think the Church of the Nazarenes got scared.
It's unclear if the state or the church forced the unexpected closure. School was supposed to start on Tuesday. Now these parents have no time to find a new school.
Pay your check on Friday and you close the school and you're going to cash the check?
They say they were promised answers and a meeting today.
When and if. Just to confirm you're a liar!
Instead, they were handed a postponement flyer and greeted by security and police officers. The pastor was eventually able to leave. As far as these parents are concerned, nothing was resolved today. They still have unanswered questions. They don't have a school to send their children to, and many of them are out hundreds of dollars. They've already paid tuition for this and next month, and they have no idea when they're going to get their money back. In Buena Park, I'm Q McCrae, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Our thanks to Q. In San Bernardino, a car struck a mother and her 4-year-old daughter, killing the woman and injuring the little girl. It happened just after 9 last night on the 600 block of Mount Vernon Avenue. The mother and daughter were attempting to cross the street when they were struck. Police say they were not using the crosswalk. The little girl is hospitalized. No word tonight on her condition. The driver stopped and is cooperating with the investigation. Police do not believe that alcohol or drugs were a factor.
The 19-year-old woman who was killed in a crash in Whittier rather early yesterday morning has been identified by the coroner's office. 19-year-old Maria Vasquez of Bell Gardens was a passenger in a 1998 Chevy Malibu driving along Beverly Boulevard near Citrus Avenue when the driver, a 25-year-old man, lost control, sheared off a fire hydrant and struck a large pine tree. Vasquez and a 21-year-old woman were ejected from the car. All three people were rushed to the hospital where Vasquez died from her injuries. The driver and other passenger were in critical condition. No word on what caused the driver to lose control of the car. We also now know the name of the man who was killed in a deadly shooting in Whittier. The coroner's office has identified him as 34-year-old Jonathan Rojas of Whittier. Yesterday, officers found him on Washington Avenue near La Cuarta Street. He was unresponsive with a gunshot wound to the torso. They performed CPR and Rojas was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. So far, no word on any suspects or arrests.
A mountain biker who went missing yesterday in the Cleveland National Forest has been found. A search and rescue team was at the tail end of a 12-hour overnight search in the forest about 10 miles east of San Juan Capistrano when they located the missing man. The 49-year-old man from Burbank was found at 8 this morning with minor scrapes and cuts, but otherwise in good condition. He'd become separated from his riding partner as they rode the San Juan Trail from the Blue Jay campground to the Ortega Fire Station.
NASCAR superstar Tony Stewart is back behind the wheel tonight, 3 weeks after the racing accident that killed fellow driver Kevin Ward Jr. The investigation into that incident is still underway. ABC's Gio Benitez spoke to some fans and got their reaction on Stewart's return.
Tonight, Tony Stewart is back on the track, officially racing for the first time since August 9th, when his car struck and killed 20-year-old Kevin Ward Jr., speaking out just this Friday, sending a message to Ward's family.
Every day I'm thinking about them and praying for them.
This weekend has, in some ways, been business as usual for the NASCAR champ, placing in the top 20 in 2 practice sessions just this Saturday, racing as the cloud of an investigation looms over that track. A racer considered such a legend, also known for his explosive temper. Even the president joked while honoring Stewart last year on the south lawn of the White House.
I was also hoping he would give me some tips on the media because he's got that quiet, reserved personality.
Now as Stewart gets in his car, number 14, to race at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, some question whether now is the right time to return to the sport he loves.
It seems to me that the best thing would be for him to wait until the investigation is complete and then come back to the sport.
That was Gio Benitez reporting. Stewart's return to the track ended a little over halfway through the race tonight after he hit a wall and blew his right front tire on lap 172.
Joan Rivers' daughter issued a new statement today saying, quote, "We are keeping our fingers crossed." The 81-year-old Rivers remains in serious condition. She was rushed to Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City Thursday after going into cardiac arrest during a procedure at a medical clinic. A friend says he had dinner with Rivers the night before that procedure.
She said she was having just a procedure on either her vocal cords or her throat in the morning.
Didn't seem concerned or anything?
No, not at all. Nothing more than she was going through a little procedure on her throat. Either that or her vocal cords. I don't really recall. First thing in the morning.
Doctors are reportedly keeping Rivers sedated until they feel more comfortable with her physical condition.
A celebrity chef gets arrested.
Still to come on Eyewitness News, find out how he ended up on the wrong side of the law.
Plus, a yearly celebration of the Southern California culinary scene is wrapping up this weekend. We'll show you the mouth-watering results.
Welcome back. Kraft Foods is recalling some of its Kraft Singles cheese products because an ingredient from a supplier was not stored at the proper temperature. That could lead to premature spoiling and or foodborne illnesses. The voluntary recall by Kraft covers more than 7,000 cases of 4 different varieties of cheese. If you've got Kraft Singles in your refrigerator, you should check to see if they are part of the recall. You can get full details on our website at ABC7.com.
Celebrity chef Todd English has posted bail after being arrested in New York. Police in Southampton say English was arrested on a charge of driving while intoxicated. It happened this morning on a county road in Long Island. He made a court appearance later in the day and then posted $1,500 bail. English has opened restaurants around the country and has written multiple cookbooks.
It was a great day to get out and enjoy some of LA's finest cuisine. The LA Times wrapped up the Taste, its yearly celebration of the Southern California culinary scene. The event at Paramount Studios in Hollywood included cooking demonstrations, tastings, and live entertainment. Today's schedule even featured a special Sunday brunch.
I think we missed out, Jory.
I think we did. I'm kind of hungry right now. I can go for some.
Up next, dozens of kids and adults enjoy a free hike with some amazing views of Los Angeles. We'll have the details when Eyewitness News returns.
And the Angels open up a big division lead on the Athletics thanks to a series sweep. Kurt Sandoval with the highlights next in sports.
Danny on the microphone, this time properly placed. Hello.
Our resident weatherman.
Hello.
Dozens of kids and adults got to enjoy a free hike today with the group 213 Hikers. Today, they hiked from the Griffith Observatory to the Hollywood sign. The hikes are held the last weekend of each month, switching between Saturdays and Sundays. They take place in various Southland areas, including Eaton Canyon. They were started by Carlos Baruz.
I started it because I would do it alone with my daughter, who's 6 years old, and I just decided to invite a few friends, and it's actually grown as we go.
The hikes take up to 3.5 hours and are just under 7 miles.
Good to remember that water, though, because this time of year it gets hot up there.
You know, that's the thing. People go on these hikes and stuff, and we hear about these horrible stories. They're going to get lost, whatever.
Right.
Always take lots of water.
And friends, like they.
And friends. Yes. Never go. It's much more fun with friends, as is everything. It's why we do everything together up here in the day. That's it. Everything. Outside we
Poor
go.
Danny. He'd like to.
Well, yeah, but they never invite me. That's the big thing. Like, no, don't tell Danny where we are. Let's look outside. How about this? The Irvine Spectrum camera showing you Orange County on a gorgeous Sunday night. Not bad at all. The downtown skies equally nice. Clear skies right now. There'll be some clouds moving in later on tonight, and that's a little hint of the weather change to come. Right now, a beautiful 75 downtown with 74% relative humidity. Our temps today, 87 the downtown high, a couple of degrees above the 85, which is the average temp for this date, so we're still right around in the neighborhood. Tomorrow morning, sun rising up at 6:27. The change in weather because of this ridge of high pressure that will now drift towards the east and move out of our area, get around to Texas over the next couple of days. And what's going to change with that, though, as that high kind of moves out of our area, the next weather influence will be this low that drops in from the west, and that comes in with an onshore flow. That's that cool marine air, those morning clouds, even some patchy fog on the coastal spots. And the marine layer will push into the valleys as well, so everybody cools down a bit. But by the end of the week, we'll see this low move out. We'll see that high back into our area, and then warm up once again for the weekend. Here's our lows tonight. Down to 73 in Barstow, 67 Dana Point, 66 at Palmdale, 67 for Malibu, and 60 in Fillmore. Tomorrow, the afternoon highs warm again, inland to 98, but the beach, 77 Ventura, 77 Malibu, 75 at Redondo. Inland Empire will go 96 for Ontario. Huntington Beach, 78. A great beach day once the morning clouds move out. Going to be nice. And that's the pattern setting up for us on the 7-day Powered by AccuWeather, showing you morning clouds and afternoon sunshine and the slowly dropping temps. 84 tomorrow to 82, down to 80s for Wednesday and Thursday with that really deeper marine layer influence, but then back again. Here comes the warmth for the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday up to 84 by the end of that weekend. For the valleys, Inland Empire, we go mostly sunny skies tomorrow, and there too, temps drop down from 93 to a high of 88 for Wednesday and Thursday. Again, starting in the morning with some morning clouds, and then the afternoon sunshine, but slightly less heat. And then for the weekend, it warms right back up again. Less marine layer, more warmth. 92s for Saturday and Sunday. Mountains will be windy, and then temperatures dropping from 79 on Monday to 74s into the weekend. But all week, clear skies and a beautiful mountain week ahead for the high desert. We have temperatures staying still hot tomorrow, 98, 97 for Monday and Tuesday, and the winds kicking in. Less wind, less heat as we head towards midweek. There we go from that 98 tomorrow on the holiday to 94s for Wednesday and Thursday, and then as we look to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, here comes the heat again, right back up to 96 and 98, so warmth back once again for the summer. Please stop not inviting me to things. Okay, come on. I want to go.
You're always included.
Am I?
Always.
He's always there anyway. What are you talking about? All right, we turn things over to Kurt, where for a while we were talking about how the Angels just couldn't catch the A's.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
The other way around.
Absolutely. I wanted to invite you to wash my car.
Yeah!
The Angels and A's are about as different as night is today. After the Halos completed the 4-game sweep today, the Halos were actually hurrying around their clubhouse getting ready for the big fantasy football draft. The A's, meantime, made a deal for Adam Dunn, then held a closed-door, player-only meeting. A's starter Scott Kazmir, clearly part of that meeting. He just didn't have it today. Had trouble finding strikes. Gordon Beckham and Cole Calhoun, back-to-back walks with the bases loaded. In fact, Kazmir gave up 6 runs in the second inning alone. Meantime, Angel pitcher Matt Shoemaker, sensational. He had 7 shutouts, has his 14th win of the day, and dig the beard. Mike Trout again. He orders out on the rocks with that one. It's his 97th RBI. He already has 31 homers as well. The Angels now a full 5 games up stepping into September. As for the Dodgers on top of the West, and a few good men saw them avoid the sweep down in San Diego. 5th inning, game tied at 1, running on the first and second. Matt Kemp, dare I say, puts one up the middle. Hanley Ramirez gives him a 2-1 lead, and Hyun-Jin Ryu has been on the disabled list. You never know the way he pitched today. 7 shutout innings, and then that one. 7 strikeouts in 7 innings. Darwin Barney breaks it open with the bases loaded, slaps one to right, and with that, the Dodgers avoid the sweep. They win it 7-1. They stay 2.5 games up on the Giants. To the FIBA World Cup, United States and Mike Krzyzewski taking on mighty Turkey. United States was actually down by 5 and then answered the wake-up call courtesy of James Harden. He finds the alley-oop to Kenneth Baird. And then the unibrow, Anthony Davis, dominating, if you will, 19 of his 20 points in the second half. And Team USA outscores Turkey by 26 in that second half, winning 98-77, so they are now 2-0. Finally, in golf, third round of the Deutsche Bank Championship, Rory McIlroy saw his 3 straight wins come to an end last week. But that doesn't mean his game is cooled off. Look at this shot. Is that just spectacular? Shot a 64. He's only 2 strokes back. They're going to finish this thing tomorrow. Russell Henley will take the lead into the final round. Henley with a round of 6 under 65 at 12 under. He's a shot up on the field. Stay safe, everyone, this holiday weekend. A lot of crazies sometimes out there drinking and driving, so be safe on the roads.
Good advice. Call for a ride. All right. Thank you, Kurt. New tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7, a local Boys and Girls Club shut down after allegations of gang activity. And holiday weekend terror when a boat bursts into flames. Look at that picture. We'll tell you what happened to the 5 people on board. Those stories and all the late-breaking news on Southern California's #1 newscast. That's Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7.
Coming up here on Eyewitness News, we'll tell you what tops box office charts this holiday weekend.
And we'll show you the latest in the high-tech wearables and what's in the works for the future right after the break.
Guardians of the Galaxy is now the highest grossing movie of the year.
My name is Peter Quill. There's one other name you might know me by. Star-Lord. Who? Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw. Guys,
It's so funny. People have the same reaction when I tell them my name. The Marvel film stayed at the #1 spot this week. In my own mind, I am. My good friends earning more than $16 million. That brings its U.S. total to nearly $275 million. The second and third place were also the same this weekend. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles earned $11.7 million, and the young adult film If I Stay earned $9.2. Rounding out the top 5, As Above, So Below, and Let's Be Cops.
From The View to I Do, Jenny McCarthy and Donnie Wahlberg tied the knot today. According to McCarthy's publicist, the couple were married in a ceremony outside Chicago. The marriage is the second for both stars, who announced their engagement in April. Wahlberg has 2 sons from a previous marriage. McCarthy also has a son. Wahlberg's brother, Mark, who was not attending the wedding, posted a tweet and Instagram video congratulating the happy couple.
79% of cell phone users keep their phones with them for all but 2 of their waking hours. That's according to a new survey by the technology research company IDC. I think some of us may keep it even more of our waking hours. But tech companies think they have something you'll depend on 24 hours a day. Consumer specialist Rick Romero shows you the very latest in high-tech wearables.
You can wear them on your wrist, on your neck, and even on your face. They can help you check your email, check your pulse, and check directions. They're wearable technology, and they're gaining in popularity. But are they the next big thing, or just a passing trend?
Wearable tech is still very new, but we really think it's going to take off. A lot of big companies are jumping into the game, like Samsung, LG, Motorola, and maybe even Apple.
Smartwatches are one of the fastest growing categories. Users can get email, text, and phone call notifications all on their wrist without having to pull out their cell phone.
It allows me to, at a glance, tell if something's important enough to stop and take care of now, or forget until later, or not pay attention to at all.
Consumer Reports is developing tests for wearable devices, including smartwatches and activity trackers that count steps and track and log calories. So far, the highest rated tracker is the $100 Fitbit One. It's very accurate and allows users to see their progress in real time without connecting to a computer. Wearable tech continues to evolve.
The first devices we saw were kind of clunky, but that's changing. For example, this Misfit Shine activity tracker. You can wear it around your neck, your wrist, or even your ankle.
Popular fashion designers are starting to get in the mix, including Tory Burch, who now makes accessories to hold a Fitbit. And Diane von Furstenberg has designed frames for Google Glass. Consumer Reports has been checking out this wearable, which is still in beta testing, and says it's certainly an innovative product.
Okay, Glass.
But starting at $1,500, more of a novelty than a must-have.
Record a video.
Consumer Reports says we should expect to see a lot more wearable tech in the run-up to the holidays. Already in the works, high-tech socks that track your steps, speed, and running technique. And get this, a ring on your finger that can make a phone call or change TV channels with the wave of a hand. All right. This is Rick Romero, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Cool.
Hold on. Yeah. Okay, I'll call you back. Okay.
We shut you off.
Okay, what were we saying now?
Thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at 8 here on LA56. Law and Order SVU is next here.
Eyewitness News continues at 11 p.m. on ABC7, anytime on ABC7.
Hello?
Hello.
Have a great night.
Have a great night.
Hello? Couplings that talk.